everybody. This is Ashley.
And this is Justin.
And this is Mark.
And this is Awkward Fist Bump Productions. Boom!
Boom!
All right.
Yes!
So I'm the boss today. I'm taking the lead.
Ooh,
And
it's
I am
empowerment.
so
I like it.
excited. I am so excited to introduce you guys to my really good friend Vanessa, season 6, 60 days in, our phase 2 participants. And I'm so glad that we were able to get her on here. She is a badass. She is a firefighter. She's an EMT. She's just accomplished so many amazing things in her career. And she only lives like an hour and a half away from me, which is awesome. So
What?
it's
Right.
we watched the reunion part 2 together. She came, we had a
Right.
sleepover.
That is cool. That's like
Yes.
Tony lives 15 minutes north of me.
I don't think he
Really?
wants to
Oh,
have
yes,
us
we've talked
spend the
about that.
night
Yeah.
and chill with
You
you.
guys could have a sleepover.
Dude,
I
we
don't
could have
think
a
he-
slumber party.
No, I'm busy.
We had so much fun though. She and I got on Facebook Live and Instagram Live at the end of the reunion for hours and just hung out with the fans, and it was so much fun.
It's cool.
Like,
So much fun.
and then we did a big Zoom call with the whole group.
Oh, that's cool.
Heck yeah.
Yes. So Vanessa, what have you been doing since the show aired and the whole entire world shut down?
I
What was
have
said?
been working out and going to class. Like that's pretty much it. I lost 80 pounds during this
Heck yeah.
pandemic.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes.
Just getting stronger and better. Obviously, I cut all my hair off.
Looks
It
good.
looks
You look
awesome.
good.
And thank
Yes.
you. And I actually went back to Alabama. I had a class at the Alabama Fire College back in November. So far, I think this year I've been certified in Inspector 1, 2, and 3, and fire and life safety classes. So I can teach classes now on fire
yeah.
safety. I have Instructor 1. I have a lot of classes. That's all I've been doing, just studying and working out.
Dude, just
I
real
love
quick,
it.
I do want to say that my father-in-law, which is also Justin's
My
dad,
dad. Heck yeah, Dad.
he retired 20 years, Morrow PD, working on a second retirement out in Colorado. And the
Wow.
man is so proud of his certifications, which is one thing you don't really see in law enforcement. I mean, I love working in law enforcement, but this man at the end of his civilian, not government, but civilian email address, it says D. Lindsay Smith, and it's like CE2QRPVWXYZ. And I give him
That's
so
me.
much. So Lindsay, you got to watch this because we're talking about you because you got
Heck
your
yeah.
soul, you got your soul sister right there. But
I love
I'm about certifications.
I love it. Now, you hit a big milestone this year in your career for your state, right?
Not yet. I'm still
Not
working
yet.
on it. Not
Okay,
yet.
so we'll keep it secret until
Yeah.
it's time. But I'm
Gonna
so
be-
excited about it.
But you said
But
can't you give us like a trailer, like a little teaser?
okay, well, since we are talking about certifications, these certifications have put me in a position to actually become the first Black woman to do something in this state.
awesome.
Fire department.
And
That's
she's been working on this.
Yeah.
You've
So
been
I
working
have
on
been
this
working.
for years.
That's awesome.
Like
Yes.
to get to
I've
this
only-
moment.
Right. I've only been in the fire service not even 5 years yet. May will be 5 years. So since I passed my rookie year, I've just been going to classes and just building myself up because I was told that, the position that I'm working towards, I can't have that for like at least 10 years. And I was told that I have to be a captain. I was told I had to be a lot of stuff to have it. But working on my certifications and lining myself up with the right people and having the right leadership and position is probably going to happen very, very soon.
That's
Won't take
awesome.
me 10
So
years.
excited.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna.
So
brag
I already
big.
know what that means. Like I know because I work kind of in the business, public safety. I know where that means you're going, and that is so freaking awesome. Like we can say we had her on AFBP win.
Yes, I'm so excited.
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm so excited
That's so cool.
You deserve it. And
because
she's
it could
like
happen like
Vanessa's.
in January or February.
Heck
That's
Oh
yeah.
my
cool.
gosh.
So
Vanessa's
will
honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met too. It could not have happened to a better
will
person.
you be
Like
too
honestly.
big if we could have you on again, like and be like, hey, we're going to introduce the first, and we're not going to finish it off. Those of us in public safety know where you're going, but
Right.
uh,
Yes.
but yeah, we're going to have her back on so we can announce it to the
I'm so
AFBP
excited.
crew.
Heck yeah.
Trust me, I'll be
Yes.
so excited to do it. Like I'm so excited about it. So
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
So when you were in Alabama, did you go to Gadsden at all? Did you?
no, I wasn't able to. That class was
Mm.
3 days long and it was like hard as hell.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I've never had so much homework in my life, and I graduated from college, and yeah, never in my life. And I
Dang.
spent 3 days there, stressed out,
Oh man.
sitting in the lobby of the hotel doing homework every night. I had a
Mm.
presentation to do, I had a test to take, and then I was nervous about the test because it took me 9 minutes to take a 50-question test, and I made a
Dang.
98.
Dang.
Wow.
There
Yes.
you go.
So I
That's
Excelling.
was
awesome.
like,
There you go.
Yeah. Winning.
Yes. So
That's awesome.
do you get hit up by people a lot asking you a lot of questions about 60 days in still?
I
Like,
I still get like messages on Facebook and Instagram, and they're just
mhm,
pretty much like telling me, "Oh, I really love Jonah's show, and I follow you." And it's weird to me that they're still finding me because it's like, are
mhm.
people just now watching the show and they're still finding me,
Look,
or
look,
have they
my
been looking for social media?
my
It's
season has
his
been
fault.
out a little bit longer than y'all, so I can speak from some position of authority. So for those for those that for those that have that don't know, A&E uh, does like has a deal with like different companies, corporations in about 100 different countries. So yes, the short answer is it's being released as we speak, probably in another country, and you'll see that for about a year because it goes to like the UK, then it'll be released in Germany, and then it'll be released in like Australia, and then you'll see like a South American contingent because they've got some in South. It's over 100 countries, and they don't
Dang.
release the same time that the United States does. And then you'll see this is the first for us for 60 days in. Like for us, they just released it on Netflix. My season on
Yeah,
Netflix
I saw that.
like 2 months ago, like a month maybe 2 months ago, and it's
Hmm.
been like
Yeah.
like starting over. Like now, like for a while, I was able to go out in public and almost not be recognized, and now it's all started all over again. It's like, hey, you're that guy.
Mhm.
What guy? Yeah, yeah,
Right.
you're that guy. Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yes.
So yes, you will be going through this for a while, Vanessa.
Yeah.
So, do you feel comfortable telling people how you got selected to be on the show? Like, how were you found, and what did they say?
Okay. So it was kind of weird to me because I've never applied to any reality show, never even thought about it in a million years. And I was at work one day and I got a message on Instagram, and it's like in that inbox that like if you don't know them, you don't really check it. So I checked
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
and it's like a message saying, "Hey, we think you'll be good for this show," and I'm like, spam.
That's so my story.
And so I read the message and I replied back, and I talked back and forth with the person. I didn't really know who I was talking to, and they told me to just watch some seasons or episodes of that show, and I was like, I never even heard of the show. So being at work, of course, I'm sitting in the living room at the station. I had nothing else to do at the time, so I started watching some of the episodes, and it was like, hey, if you like it, call us back. So I stayed up all night and like watched season one. And I was like, this can't be real. And I was like, this is crazy. So, but I did contact them back, and I was like, I can do that. And yeah, so that's how they found me. Basically, it was through a picture I took in my uniform for like my anniversary year on the job, and it went viral.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
they picked me up from that. So it was
Oh,
one of the producers that found it.
That's
I
I
awesome.
don't
love
want to say
that.
his name because I don't think I can say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's amazing. So I'm sure the two of y'all also get the same question, and we've talked about it at length on this channel. Is so many people hit me up, how can I be on the show? Great, you did a great job. How can I be on it? And the same answer is hard to tell you because I didn't apply to be on it. My story is just like yours. They hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and I was like, yeah, whatever, spam, because they were like, hey, we're from New York and we're representing a TV. We think you'd be great for TV, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I hesitantly replied, and they said, yeah, just send us your email, and we're gonna send you a I was like, what show is it? And they were like, we're going to send you a non-disclosure agreement. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not downloading anything.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then they told me, they said, no, here's the company. Here's who we are. Look us up. And I still didn't believe them because I could tell you that I'm the vice president for Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's a legit company. That don't mean I'm with Coca-Cola. So for me, I actually looked up the company, the casting company, which is Lucky 8. And I actually called them. And I said, this person said that they were representing y'all, and he comes back after a few minute wait, and he's like, yeah, she's legit. I was, oh, okay, cool. All right, let's talk.
I'm so naive because I was like, yes, click link. Yes, I'll do it. Here's my number. Oh, you guys need my social? Here you go. What else do you need? My blood? Go right ahead. Like,
here's my credit card number and the 3-number digit at the back, too.
Basically, that's how it was. I was well, you guys know I emailed them, and I was like, I want to do this show because I think it would be a lot of fun. Listen,
a lot of fun.
Etowah County was not a fun, happy place.
No.
Those women were crazy. And I don't know, Vanessa, did you have a great time? Like,
as a former corrections officer, never in a million years did I ever think, because I liked the concept of the show. But when they contacted me, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I'll work there. I ain't stupid. But then, I'm crazy, so I went ahead and did the stupid show anyway.
What I think is funny is, like, I go in, like, bright-eyed and smiling, and I come out, like, bawling my eyes out red. So ridiculous. You ran, too, when you left. You and Heather grabbed arms and jetted.
Right, we got out of there, but yeah, I worked in corrections 8 years prior to becoming a firefighter. So
oh dang,
it was different, because I knew that my jail was pretty much under control. I was part of their CERT team, so I was, part of the muscle. So it's different when you have control over the situation, or you can stand back and just, look at the bigger picture. Once you're in there, it's like you're part of the bigger picture and you can't see it, and you can't tell people what they need to do and how they need to do it, and it's very different.
So did you actually work in a county, or did you work at a prison?
No, I worked in the county.
Okay.
8 years. So I actually, like I said, I was a CERT team leader, and I also worked a few high-profile cases that are still on TV to this day, like documentaries and stuff.
Okay.
So it was kind of, one thing that was really scary was the fact that they had access to, like, the TV, like internet, cable, all of the whole shebang, and that made me nervous because I know that on certain channels, multiple channels, they kept running that case that I worked. And at the time, I had short hair, but I was so scared. I was like, I was trying to push him to, like, watch basketball games or football or something, because I'm like, I don't want to run across anything that's showing me. Because to this day, people are still calling me like, I saw you on TV. And it was like the case that I worked, the actual case, that I was working on. So I was like, that made me so nervous.
Dang.
Yeah. One of the things people always bring up that's like a thing that, oh, did this make you nervous, or was this a thing, or this a thing? They always want to bring up Angel, like she's this big, like, monster when she's not. So I didn't get to know Angel as well as you did, but she was like a big part of your half of the season. Not so much mine, but yours. It was like all about your relationship with Angel and stuff. I liked her. I thought she was cool, and she never bothered me. So, like, what was your relationship like with everybody in your pod, or everybody in your cell?
Well, to be honest, we didn't have a bad relationship, because what you didn't see was the fact that we pretty much bonded over sports. We talked about sports, like, all the time. We watched football. I love basketball, and it was easy to talk to her about that stuff because she would pretty much have control of the TV. So that was my way of talking to her. So I did talk to her way more than you could see like just even being in a room with her, she really was not that bad. She really like showed me some stuff, and she shared a lot of personal information about herself with me, and it made me look at her like a different person. But even when I worked in corrections, I never treated people like inmates. I always treated people like people, because we could all make one mistake and be on the other side. So it's like, why would I treat you like I'm so different when I'm not, because I could have came right back home, got in trouble, and been on that same thing. And guess what? I would have been all plastered all over the news, because, you lose your name once you're on that service side. So you're no longer Vanessa or Ashley. You become firefighter, whoever, or correctional officer, this thing, or police officer, this. That's what's going to be the headline. So I never treat people like they're beneath me. I always treat people with respect, because I expect people to treat me with respect. But Angel was always really nice to me. Like, we had to spend a lot of time, because I feel like we was all locked down like 23 hours a day in there.
We were.
And that was probably
it
the
was
part.
Yeah. Did it hurt you as a former corrections officer and as a public servant to see the way that the guards treated us when we were in there? Like, it cut me to my core. Like, how did it make you feel?
It really bothered me, because a lot of the information that they wanted was on the actual inmates. But then at the same time, to me, if you're locked up, people expect you to act a certain way anyway. So they don't have they don't have a responsibility to be respectful, or, be held up to a certain standard. It's the actual people that work there that have standards. And they had absolutely none. Like, it was horrible. And it's just the way that they treated, the people inside that jail, the way it was everything, just from personal, what do you call it? I know it's weird, but just personal hygiene items, to just your uniforms, to your food, to just everything was just terrible. Security was terrible. It was horrible. It was.
I never felt afraid of the inmates. It was always like, oh, that guard's going to be here today. We're probably going to have to eat in our rooms. We're probably not going to get free time. We're probably not going to get to shower. Like, it was you very quickly, because the inmates, they didn't care if you were new, they were nice to you. Like, I mean, they didn't like automatically make a split-second decision to dislike you. Like, when you came in, they were very welcoming and they were very nice. And it depends on your actions if they're going to turn on you. And the guards, they just walk in and they're like, you guys are all pieces of shit and I hate you all. Like, it's like, you know,
right.
it's
Right.
not,
and it was some really good people in there, just in bad situations.
That was the deal. I felt like with Angel, is she was a very good person. She did really care about people. She took her role as the boss seriously, and it wasn't like a joke to her. And if you came in and needed something, she took care of you. But as a respect thing, you pay it back. So if you were to have told her, I really believe if she asked if you needed anything and you said, yeah, I need deodorant, but honestly, nobody is going to put money on my books and there would be no way to pay you back, I still feel like she would give it to you. But if you lie and you were to say, yeah, I'll give you 2 sticks of deodorant back next week, and you never do, like, it's all about telling the truth with her. Like, she operates.
Yeah, it's a respect thing. And like I said, it was more of a bond between the inmates, of course, or, but you got the guards there. I think it was the lack of training, just the lack of everything. Like, I've never seen anything like that before. Like, to be honest, like, one of the numbers I had was like my old lieutenant that was there. He was still working at the jail that I came from. And when I talked to him, I was like, listen, our jail is a 5-star hotel. I promise you it is. Like, he said, when he watched it, he was like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Like, was that real? I was like, it was real. He said, I told him no training. It was just absolutely chaos. Like, it was crazy. And I think the one thing that really got me was hearing that damn fire alarm go off all the time.
Yes.
I think that bothered me the most, to actually hear a fire truck outside, not ever see anybody, and sometimes not even hear a fire truck, but I would hear that alarm go off for hours. And I'm like, do we have anything set in place to get people out? You know, like, are you gonna have a roster? Like, how do you even know who you have? Like, there was people staying in rooms that they didn't even have in that room. So I'm like, you could easily escape from here.
Oh yeah, it was chaos. And then if there was like a fight or something, half the time they want you to go stand by your doors and lock down. The other half the time they want you to go out into the rec yard and lock down. Like, we never knew. We just kind of like, oh well.
Just go with the flow.
What you want to do? Yeah.
And that's the one thing I think as a season 5 participant that we had the best out of all the seasons thus far. And I would like to think I'm still y'all's equal, but season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 6, or should I just say Clark County, Indiana, Fulton County, and I'm from Atlanta, so I know Fulton County, and Gadsden were just so much worse than Pinal County. And we did have issues, but we didn't have y'all's type of issues. Like, it's just like, geez, I'm glad if I could be selected to be on 60 Days In, which I was selected. Anyway, I'm glad it was Pinal County, because there wasn't a lot of issues. Yes, did we focus on some of the bad guards? Yes. There were some bad officers that worked in the back, but a lot of them were good guys, man. And I mean, we had the same thing like y'all had. We had, there were some inmates there that were just terrible people, but a good chunk of them are just good people that fell victim to addiction. They fell victim to whatever circumstance, but that they could be good people. But I say all that to say, I sure am glad I was in Pinal County.
I would never go undercover in a jail ever again.
Oh no,
I wouldn't. No.
Well, we couldn't at this point. Someone asked me the other day.
Like
Another officer asked me at work the other day. They said, "Hey, Dingus, we're gonna have
Do we need to
delete
edit that out?
We need
Sorry.
to edit that out. Sorry,
Okay,
I got into just shooting the crap, so I'll edit that out later because I don't want people to know my real last name. But anyway, they did. They said, "Hey, if they called you again, hey, beep. If they called you again, would you go back?" I said, "Well, first of all, our faces are too entirely well known to ever do that show again. Because the first time, the three of us could go undercover. Not anymore. I mean, our faces are too well known." And the three of us had such huge impacts in ours. There are some people that might have done the show that people don't remember, but I'm the awkward fist bump Bible study guy. Well, let's see. I hope it turns out this way. You were the SWAT team, SEAL team people that went in because phase 1 couldn't get it done.
Squad.
Yeah, the All-Star group, the SEAL team, Special Forces group.
It was terrible.
And then you twerked.
You're gonna make me cry. Don't cry. I had one little tear. Not professionally. Nor will I ever do that. The world will never know if I accomplish it.
But I'm saying, like, there are certain people, and I'm not picking on you. I was just trying to be funny.
No, you're fine. It was funny.
But there are certain people on this show that we could never do it again. And the three of us, I think, would be in that category. Because if I ever went back, I'm sure people would want to fist bump me. And
to your face.
Yeah, to my face. Hey, speaking of which, I wonder what happened to Steven. Steve from my season, because he's actually been incarcerated a couple of times, like for real.
We've got to find out.
I wonder if he PC'd up.
He had to.
I would have PC'd. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'll PC up in a heartbeat.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, but
he had to.
PC is such a bad place anyway.
It's horrible.
It's lonely.
Yeah. Very lonely, and I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
That is the one thing I don't know about y'all's experience is we were locked down so much.
Oh God!
Because
don't even. We were locked down way more than you.
But they would have not enough staff show up or whatever that day, and we got locked down quite a bit. And I always said, Prior to 60 days in, I always said if I ever go to jail, man, I'd want to be locked down and away from all the nonsense. Until well, I was in a pod that we got locked down pretty consistently, and then it's like you're freaking going crazy in there, and I'm like, no, I'd want to be in general population. That's why I see.
After I got sentenced, I did 6 months in lockdown. They put everybody in one whole dorm. It was 23 and 1 at first, and they changed it 22 and 2, and it was a whole entire dorm like that. 6
ours
months.
on average was 23 hours, or no, it was 21 hours, and then we had 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, and 1 hour in the evening. If it was a good day.
Right.
If it was a good day where you got to actually have free time. A normal day would be 22 lockdown, 2 out for an afternoon release for free time, and then evening free time for showers.
Golly.
And then if Priscilla, whatever her name worked, Officer, what was her
Williams.
name? Williams.
We had Williams. She had Richardson. Richardson was your bad one, right?
But I actually like Richardson. We're actually friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really? So what was her deal then? Like, have you talked to her about it? Like, does she share her side?
We talked about it, but it was a while ago. So I really, can't really recall everything that we talked about. But like overall, I feel like she's a good person, just was in a situation where she is pretty young. Most people don't even understand how young she is. Like, she's pretty young. And again, it was lack of training, just lack of everything, just tools, just anything for that job. They just didn't have it. So it was almost like you showed up, you interviewed, we're going to talk to y'all a couple of weeks, and bam, you're going to be in a unit. Like, it doesn't work like that everywhere else. Like, you have to have like some real training. And once I talked to her.
In Alabama, real quick, do they, at least detention officers, not COs, but detention officers, do they not have some type of formal schooling they have to go to?
I don't, from what I understood, most people would tell like it was like 2 weeks, like in a little classroom setting, and then they would go out with like a FTO who would walk them around the unit on shift a couple of times, and if they looked like they knew what they was doing, they would release them.
Dang.
Work alone.
Because in Georgia, you have to, like, at least in my sheriff's office, the onboarding process is 2 weeks training there, then you FTO, and then within 6 months, you have to go to GIPSTIC, is what we call it, Georgia Public Safety Training Center, and it's an actual certification that you have to get. So I didn't realize, okay, so that's interesting. But go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That makes me feel a lot better that she's not. I feel like she was almost kind of painted to be Williams 2.0. Like, if really Richardson, if she had like awesome days and then she had one bad incident, I feel like that's more forgivable. But Williams, it was like constant evil. Like, there was not a nice day where she was nice. Like,
because even when I think back on the situation that she had with, was it Caswell?
Yeah, Ashley Caswell.
Okay. Well, that incident where she came out of her room and she was throwing trash, they actually showed that one. So she was like throwing trash and doing all this stuff, doing everything wrong. And it was another guy, like another CO sitting in that unit. It really bothered me that he just sat there. He didn't try to de-escalate the situation or anything. He just sat there and let it all happen. And then once it was over with, it was like, okay, go back to your room. Well, knowing how it works, after pill call, shortly after that, you're going to be served a tray. Well, if that person, or let's say you already had an incident with that person, why do you allow them to go back alone and serve them a tray when you know that it's only going to be another bad incident? Like, at that point, somebody should have already been there to help her serve that tray. But I had no faith in anybody else because I witnessed him just sit there and just watch it all happen. Like, nothing happened to her. So it was almost like her behavior was okay because she was an inmate, and it's not okay. Like, I understand that you have people that deal with like mental illnesses and just issues, but if you have a job to do and you're here, like, at least try to help the situation, because already working in there 12 hours, I couldn't imagine 12 hours straight. It's like if you've worked in corrections, like a couple of us have, like even 8 hours, it's like if you go in there and the sun is up and you come back out and the sun is down, it's like you're locked up with them. So
Mm-hmm.
you lose a lot of freedom too. So it's just like, help me.
Mm-hmm.
If you still have an issue, help me. And that's the one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I do like about where I came from. It was always help. If you called, it was gonna be at least 15 people running towards you to
Dang,
help.
Hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
good.
It was gonna be some help. And
That is the
just
great
there,
thing. Yeah, that's the great
yeah,
thing about our department.
none of them guys could run. I can tell you that now.
Well, I know. I know. If we call, there's two
Yeah.
things: failure to comply, and officer needs assistance. If those
Right,
two bombshells are dropped on the radio, you're going to have 20 people show up within
right.
Mm-hmm.
At
30
least.
seconds. And I know
Mm-hmm.
I've had to fight, and even 30 seconds doesn't sound like a long time to people that don't know. But to those of you that know,
It's a
They
long
30
know.
Mm-hmm.
seconds is a long time. So when you look up and you see the cavalry
The
arriving,
cavalry.
oh my gosh, it is, dude. You know, I've seen a meme that says "screw sex." Have you ever had your name called at county? I would say that for "screw sex." Have you ever looked up and seen backup arriving? Oh,
Yes. Now, before we end, because we're coming up to the end of our time, is there anything that you did while you were in Etowah County that you wish would have been shown because it was a powerful moment for you?
Well, it was quite a few things I wish had been shown, but I don't really want
Hmm.
to touch on them because I don't want to
Okay.
get but
What's that?
Okay.
um but overall, I feel like it was a great experience. I mean, like I said, like what are the chances you are found on Instagram or Facebook and it's just like,
hmm,
hey, we think you'll be great for this. Like
hmm,
never in a million years. I'm at the fire station doing my shift, so I'm not thinking about a TV show. I mean, yeah, I
Hmm.
like to take pictures. I like to do my modeling thing. That's fine. But
Hmm.
I am very shy. And I don't like to be in front of like cameras. And I'm like, just knowing that, okay, I did sign up for this. And I'm like, oh my God, these cameras are on 24/7. Like,
Hmm.
it took me about 3 months after getting home to realize that my house was not bugged. Like, it took a long time because
Yep.
I was so nervous.
Dang.
I just, yeah,
Hmm.
it's nerve wracking for me.
So from actually being an officer before and then going in and then coming out, is there something like that you saw that you wish was ran different like across the board as being an inmate? Like was there anything like you wish like how inmates were treated or like anything like that that would change from being an officer and then actually having to go live that life for a little while?
Are you asking me?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no, you.
Sorry.
who's
Yeah,
yeah.
asking
I
you,
was.
Vanessa?
I'm sorry. Um,
My
I
bad.
was so confused.
uh,
No, I thought you said Ashley, but you
yeah,
said
he did.
actually.
It
Yeah.
was
Sorry.
awesome
Okay.
though. He says it, and it's like crickets,
The
crickets,
three of us are
crickets.
My
like,
bad.
Well, yeah. To be like I said, I've always treated the inmates with respect where I work. So it would be nice to just, I think you would get a different you could deal with a different type of person if you treat her with respect and just
Hmm.
understand that
Hmm.
people have their things. Like, yeah, you're gonna deal with a lot of addicts, you're gonna deal with a lot of people with mental illnesses, you're gonna have to deal with people that have never had discipline, they've never been disciplined in their life. So
Hmm.
it's just
mhm,
kind of like you have to kind of have an understanding of what you're dealing with when you sign up for those type of jobs or these type of whatever we work right now, any service job. You have
Hmm.
to understand that you're going to deal with different type of situations and people that have not possibly have not been raised the way you have been raised. So
Hmm.
mhm,
it really all boils down to respect.
That's right.
If you show respect, you can get it back.
Hmm.
yep,
Treat people like people and they will treat you like a person. And it's
yep,
not
Yep.
a war. Like you don't have to come to work in fear. Like I never went to work scared of what might happen or how it might happen. I went to work, I did my job, I showed respect. I helped people out when they needed it. Like it's a lot of people that don't even understand their paperwork or even understand
Hmm.
what their bond is. They don't understand that stuff. If you just take about 2 minutes out of your time to just explain it to them, they will
mhm,
probably have a better attitude for the day, and it could even make it easier on you,
Yep.
whether they're going to court or on the actual deputy is working the unit. I mean, it can make it easier on the whole staff and make the day go a lot smoother.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's just going to be about respect. Treat people with respect, you can get it back.
And the inmates know that too. They
Yeah.
let you know as soon as you walk in the pod. They're like, "Okay, you're lucky. This one's a good one today," or they'll be like, "Hold on to your pants because it's going to be a rough day."
Yeah.
Like they
Mhm.
Now,
know, and they'll like,
not saying be a pushover because
Yeah.
they call the good ones the pushover. You know, the pushovers can be the good ones, but in
Mhm.
reality, they're just pushovers. But you know,
And
you
a
know,
lot of times, like if there's somebody kind of new in the pod, and there's a good officer that comes in, and there's people that are in the pod for a while and they've dealt with that officer, and they know, hey, this is a good officer, they'll help you out, and then that person tries to act out and act crazy, the inmates will step up to that inmate and be like, look, man, this is the officer that's going to help us out when we
Right.
need it. You know, you back off and treat them with respect. And I mean, I've seen that a lot when there are good officers that they will actually have, you know, the inmates will actually have their back, you know, because they've shown them that respect.
Yeah. So I think this is a really good place to end this call today. But before we go, Vanessa, you mentioned that you like to do modeling and you like to take pictures. Do you want to drop your Instagram information for us so people can know where to go to follow you?
Sure. My Instagram is Miss_Velo. It's MS_VLOWE. And that's where you can follow me on Instagram.
Yes. And we will post that link in the bottom. Also, if you're new to our channel, you know what you need to do. You need to subscribe. Obviously, you're not babies. You know what is to be expected on the YouTube. Share, like, subscribe. Don't make it weird. Just do it. Like, it's so easy. If you want to get notifications about when we're dropping new stuff, you hit the bell. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction.
I think it should have been down.
Yeah. I don't know. Ashley cannot twerk, period. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in today. This has been Awkward Fist Bump Productions. Mark, I'm not good at ending these things. Help me. What do I do?
All right. Love
Bye?
you guys. We love you guys. Also, if you want to be Patreon members, patreon.com/AFBP. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot. It really does. Hey, guys, when we drop this video, it's going to be Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Christmas,
Happy
everybody.
Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hana Kwanzaa. There we go. We'll go hit everybody.
Hana Kwanzaa Kamas.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, there. Happy
There we go.
holidays.
Happy
All right, we
holidays.
love you guys.
Happy
We'll
holidays.
talk to y'all later. Bring it in. Fist bump.
Boom.
Boom.